Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis.
Glad to have you here with us. I'm Tim Pham. So before we get to weather, we do want to get to a developing story from overnight.
That's right. So Best Asian Market in Spokane's Sprague Union District closed early after a shooting. Spokane police received several calls about shots being fired around the location. Now, we do know that a bullet hit the front door of the market. However, no injuries were reported. Police are still investigating the incident at this time. So if you know any information about this, please call Crime Check right away.
The time now is 6:01. Let's get outside to meteorologist Jeremy Legou to get a look at our Tuesday forecast. And Jeremy, I took a peek at your 7-day, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing tomorrow.
Nope.
So just how cold are we talking?
We're talking the coldest we've been since back around the start of January. But I'm pretty confident that this will be about as cold as we get through the end of winter, if you want to look at it that way. I can't believe I said that out loud. Now everybody's going to hold me accountable. 23 degrees right now with some clouds and a couple of really tiny little almost flurry looking ice crystals coming out of the sky here in Spokane. You move over to Coeur d'Alene, it's a couple of breaks in the clouds, but temperatures still down in the low 20s. You got some snow coming down in Sandpoint. You don't really have to go too far to find some of that snow. Still popping up on the radar in parts of North Idaho and out to our west. Here in eastern Washington, kind of missing out on it for now. Might see a little bit more develop later, but for the most part, there's not much moisture associated with it. Just enough that you might go, whew, there's another flurry or two, and then it moves its way out. As we get into tomorrow, we'll find a much drier day, but things clearing out overnight means that temperatures drop. In fact, we climb up to just 32 degrees today, and when it comes to that chilly weather, well, how about this one for you? By tomorrow morning, we are waking up to single digits in most locations, close to it if you're not in the single digits. But as I said, I kind of think that this is the coldest will be between now and the end of winter.
If you still need an at-home COVID test, you're in luck. Washington reopened their online portal for people to order free at-home tests. You can order them through sayyescovidhometest.org. The relaunch comes just 10 days after the initial rollout, which ran out of 1.4 million tests in just 8 hours. So you'll be able to order your free test while supplies last. The Department of Health says they should arrive at your home within a few days. Well, Spokane City Council formally censured a member of their board at last night's City Council meeting. Nicole Hernandez live at City Hall this morning to explain why this censure happened and what this all means. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning, Tim. So when you walk through these doors of City Hall, after you get through the first set of doors here and into the second set of doors, you can see that there's a sign that says masks are required inside the building. Now, the city has confirmed with us that there have been complaints that council member Jonathan Bingle has not been following that mask rule. So we also heard that the Washington State Joint Agency Compliance Team has told the city of Spokane they have been getting complaints about an employee not following mask rules at work. The mask issue was not officially on last night's city council meeting agenda, so the council first had to vote to actually talk about the issue. Then council members talked about the issue before voting. They voted 5-2, officially censoring Jonathan Bingle. Bingle is not losing any formal powers as city council member. The censure is the council condemning or denouncing his actions. Council members Stratton and Zappone seemed to lead the charge against Bingle last night.
I put this resolution forward because council member Bingle is intentionally breaking the law, and even worse, he's using his office to break the law. This is the opposite of what an elected leader and a public servant should do.
That was my role, is that I had
The city council asked for Mayor Woodward's help to enforce the mask laws. Woodward said she thought the council should be handling its own staff issues instead of asking her office to step in. Bingle says by not wearing a mask, he is supporting his district's stance on the issue.
This is not something I'm doing for self-promotion. Once this blew up in the news, again, not of my own accord, our business has obviously taken a pretty significant hit. This isn't something where I thought I was going to get ahead. This is something where I just listened to the people that I am tasked to represent.
As Zappone says, this could actually cost taxpayer dollars. He said that the city could actually be fined for mask law violations. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
6:05 now, time for your morning rush. More news in less time. Idaho Governor Brad Little has activated the National Guard to help hospitals across the state as well as prisons. Now, this is the fourth time the governor has activated the Guard to help with pandemic response. 75 guardsmen will assist primary health in Southwest Idaho and the Idaho Department of Corrections.
And we've been watching the numbers just like everyone else has. So this was by no means a surprise. We were prepared to respond quickly.
A little over 500 additional personnel have been secured through a state contract to assist Idaho hospitals. Well, you might have caught this as breaking news yesterday on Up with KREM. The FDA fully approved Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine for adults 18 and older. This is the second COVID vaccine to be fully approved by the FDA alongside Pfizer's. Johnson & Johnson has not applied for full approval for its COVID vaccine just yet. And today, Pfizer is expected to ask the FDA to authorize its vaccine for kids between the ages of 6 months to 5 years old. U.S. regulators are urging Pfizer to apply with data for 2 doses to speed up the process while they gather data on how well 3 doses will work on young kids. If approved, kids are likely to receive 1/10 of the strength of the dose that adults get. Well, if you live in Idaho, listen up. You could have some unclaimed money. According to the state treasurer's office, $207 million is waiting to be claimed. Unclaimed property includes checking and savings accounts, stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. So to check and see if you have any unclaimed cash, go to yourmoney.idaho.gov. That's your morning rush.
Happy Lunar New Year, everyone. More than 2 billion people celebrate this holiday all across the world. So coming up in our next half hour, we are cooking up a special treat in honor of the holiday.
And one thing to know in the world of weather is that a major cool down is on the way for us. Tomorrow morning, likely the coldest morning we see between now and summer. Bundle up.
Well, it is time for your wake-up call. We want to know, where are you watching from this morning? You drive the conversation on this show. We love chatting with you throughout it. So text us at the number 509-448-2000 or use the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
Today marks the start of Black History Month, and in celebration of that, Up with KREM is doing something a little different. We're sharing honest and open conversations with members of the Black community here in the Inland Northwest. Here's a sneak peek.
Both of my parents went to all Black schools in elementary and then integrated them when they got to junior high. Both of them from the South. My dad's from Birmingham. My mom's from a little bitty town in Texas. And so they talk a lot. They have firsthand experiences with the civil rights movement. It's not, for me, it's not a history book. It's literally my parents who lived through this.